Clear skies overnight, leading to a sharp frost and a low of -3 Celsius, 47 degrees Fahrenheit. The weekend dry with sunny periods. The temperature now at Chilsea, -2 Celsius, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Beacon Radio. Oh, typical. Typical. I've done it again. I've left my mail at the other end of the studio. It's just typical. Why can't I ever get things right? I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years. I would have a little checklist. Is mail in front of you? If yes, proceed with show. If no, go and find it. Anyway, I've got it now. Thank you for waiting. You're very kind people. Okie dokie, me old culture lovers. It's the Midnight Line on Beacon and WABC. It's a free-for-all, so you can talk about anything you want to talk about. The numbers you need to dial: 754 123 in Wolverhampton, 236 235 in Shrewsbury. Put that there, because that's dead and finished with. It's a free-for-all, so you can talk about anything you want to talk about. This week, we have talked about, on the Midnight Line, we talked about pensions, dear old pensions and dear old pensioners. Lovely, lovely little old people with slippers, tartan slippers with little pom-poms on them. With cats called Tibbles. Not the pom-poms, I mean the pensioners. They've all got cats called Tibbles. Everybody knows that's what you get for your 65th birthday if you're a bloke. How lovely! You bought me a cat. I'll call it Tibbles. It's sort of tradition. Anyway, we talked about that and whether or not the government had any sort of moral right, or moral obligation rather, to look after people when they reach their old age, Zimmer frame time. And broadly we came to the conclusion that they did. We also sort of half reached the conclusion that yes, you could take out a private pension if you think that the current pension's a load of old bobbins, but the problem with that is that insurance companies don't actually make any guarantees about how much you're going to get at the end of it, which is a bit like going into a furniture store saying, I'll have that settee there please, there's £600, when are you going to deliver it? And the guy's saying, don't know, might not, who can tell? Don't know, mate. So we came to the conclusion, you can't win either way. We also talked about extreme political parties and whether or not you would ever vote for them. This followed an influx of mail that I received from extreme political parties. So we had a good old rant about that. What else have we talked about this week? We talked about the F word. That's what we talked about. We talked about the F word. The F word, of course, is football. And we talked about that. Whether or not it's about time the England manager sort of said adios amigos and split, went, goodbye, arrivederci and all that. Because barring, although having said this, I was talking to the blessed Peter, he who must be obeyed. So I just make the sign of the cross, not out of any sort of actually put it respect for him or anything. It wards off vampires. There we go. Morning, Peter. Sorry about that, mate. Anyway, we're talking today about the dreaded F word, football, and we reckon it's worth a bet on England qualifying. That's our hot tip. Forget horses. If you've got a tenner, stick it on England to qualify, because stranger things have happened. But even if they did qualify, I mean, there you go. They're scraping it again. Scraping it. Scraping there. Worse than an internal. So I'm told. We never seem to take control. We never have a national side that we're particularly proud of. They never seem to perform on the day. Blah, 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 moan, groan. And on that basis, the moan line and the groan lines are both open. Same numbers, 754 123 in Wolverhampton or 236 235 in Shrewsbury. Righty-ho, before we go to the lines are open until around about 2 o'clock. Incidentally, I'm Ian Perry. Lots of people have requested photographs. And to date, lovies, sweeties, well, we still haven't got any as such, but on Tuesday, I have to go for a photographic shoot. Well, I presume it's a photographic shoot. Could, of course, be a firing squad. It just says, come to a shooting. You're the guest of honour at a shooting. May well be a firing squad. So, that's where I'm going on Tuesday. And, with any luck, we'll have the said photos in question within the next couple of weeks. So if you want one, you better write in, and you better send an SAE, because the terrible thing is I've started to have to buy stamps again. So I thought I'd start this with the we've got some photographs, so send us an SAE rumour just to just to get some stamps off you, really, because it's a dreadful, very expensive business, dreadfully expensive business when you have to go to the post office to buy them. Far better that I lie to you about having photographs, then you send your SAEs in your droves. I cut off the stamp, buy a little stick of Prit, and stick it to my letters. It's that simple. What have I been doing this week? Well, we are the proud owners, me and my girlfriend, of an IBM-compatible machine. Way, hey, hey. With a processor in it, an IBM-typey processor thingy. As you can tell, I don't know a great deal about computers. I think my mate Rab said it was a 286. 286 processor? Oh, yeah, of course, better than the 285, isn't it? Yeah. 286, and I've been playing this game, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it. Where you run round shooting Germans, and it's very gory and very good fun. So, the new to me IBMs, well, I mean, I've been plodding along with an Atari for the past 6 years, so if you've got any ideas what sort of software I should be buying, do tell me. I'd like a good football game, that's what I want. I don't know if they do kick off too for the IBM, but something along those lines, if not a jolly sight better. So if you've got an IBM compatible machine either at home or indeed at work, what's good to buy for it? God, that tea's disgusting. Right, so before we go to the lines, here's been writing. Dear Ian, I'm writing to you because I've heard your listeners on the radio. Right, fine. And heard what they have to say. About racism. Aha, now we're getting to it. I feel that I have most of the answers to their questions and could give them more information about this subject. Signed, E. Powell. No, it's not really. I'd be grateful if you would allow me to have 2 hours on the radio to talk or answer any questions about racism. Yours sincerely, Patois Mark. Don't know about that. 2 hours, very long time, that. Phew. Gemini's written to me. He's enclosing a cutting from the Express and Star, my local research department, and God bless them for that, which you may have already seen. It's information you may not like. Fill in the details. It's all about, if you cut out smoking, here's something else we'd like you to cut out. If you cut cigarettes out of your life, we want to know how you did it. Did you chew carrots, knit Aran jumpers, play the bagpipes, or fiddle with blue tack? B, knitted Aran jumpers, right. I see they're putting a book together, man. Compiling a book. Thousands of people tell us they want to quit, and you may have the answer. Simply have your head separated from your body. That's quite a good way of doing it. Who else has been writing? Sonia. Now, somebody came on the lines this week and said that they listened to the show that we did 10 days or so ago with John Starkey, and that they didn't like it at all. They didn't think it was any good. They didn't think John was any good. Well, you know, make your own mind up about it, and ask me. I can't make up your mind for you. It's not my function. Try and see me as a sort of unelected facilitator. Dear Ian, I've just been listening to your show, and I must agree with the guy Gary talking about John Starkey. If you recall, I phoned John on the Midnight Line about a month ago. And this is just the proof there is no censorship at the Midnight Line at Beacon and WABC. He was talking about my new venture in puppeteering. What? I made one and it totally bored me. I was supposed to have a brilliant time. Also, when I went to Shepton Mallet for the International Goldwing Convention, I was chased around for the whole weekend by a jerk from Surrey Wings who couldn't take Get Lost Creek for an answer. Needless to say, this upset my own private mafia, who chased him off with a bottle. You can always trust a biker. To put the icing on the cake, we had money pinched from our tent, which we bought the day before, only to find out it had a bloody great rip in it. I was just reading what she wrote. And we ended up not being able to afford to go on the main run out to Weston-super-Mare, and ended up going back a day earlier in the rain. Well, please pass on my thanks to John for building me up for an absolutely smashing weekend. Not. By the way, no sign of any ex-boyfriends or vivacious blondes with flower arrangement tendencies, which I presume is what John told her. Okie dokie, well, we'll have John on again. There's the only way to do it. You make your own minds up, though. I don't know, don't ask me. Do not read out on air. Oh, right, okay. All right, Tom, we won't read it out on air. Just says P.S. any jobs at Beacon and WABC. Yeah. Just shows how rumours spread, doesn't it? 2, 3, I don't know, was it 3 weeks ago? Stuart and I decided to start a rumour to the effect that I was leaving. Just basically to see what happened, really, more than anything else. And loads. One of the sales girls came up to me today and said, "You're leaving." Amazing. Amazing how rumours spread. Anyway, let's get my pen out of my pocket, shall I? Oh, good in there. Oh, I've got my little rattly coat on tonight. Pen. Hello. I'll go to my little pen supply here. There we go. Ha. Right, let's initialise the computer, something we haven't done, but I've now got a brand new IBM one. Of course, you want to use it as much as you possibly can. I'll never fall for it. Oh, what is the point? Well, there isn't a point to this pen. What's the point of putting it in my little pen place if there's no pen for... Stupid. And no ink in this one. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Right, let's go to the lines. Who's first? Not Tom. First is Mark. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark. Do you do that?
Pardon?
Do you save duff pens?
No, I usually ring up DJs 3 days before I get a chance to go on the radio.
Oh, instead?
Yeah.
Of saving duff pens.
Oh, right.
So you're not a duff... You don't have a large collection of duff pens?
I can't collect pens, or find pens, or buy pens or anything.
You're not into pens at all?
No.
But children, apparently, according to the background noise our sensors are receiving?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, what, you were talking to you, I can't remember, when was it? Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, because it was Tuesday. What were we talking to you about?
Well, I wanted to talk to you about the mobility allowance.
Okie dokie, go ahead.
Well, I got a disabled daughter who's got a condition called dystrophic epidermolysis bullosa.
Is that something to do with the spine?
No, it's a rare skin condition where if you touch her skin too hard, or if you rub her skin, it blisters and it peels off.
Oh dear.
So, we applied to the DSS for mobility allowance because we were told that we shouldn't take her on public transport due to being bumped around on buses and in taxis and stuff like that. So...
Well, what did they say? Of course, here's some money.
Well, what they said was, she's far too young to be entitled to mobility allowance. Because she's 19 months old, she's not eligible to actually have the mobility allowance.
I can't help thinking they're missing the point there, aren't they?
Yeah. Until she's the age of 5 when she needs a vehicle.
She needs a vehicle at 5?
She needs a vehicle at 5, but not now.
How old is she now?
She's 19 months.
Why doesn't she need a vehicle now? How are her needs suddenly going to change at 5?
That's the part we can't understand. So we just wanted to know if anybody out there knew.
No, I certainly can't help you with it. I don't see how you change between 19 months and 5 years, unless is it something to do with going to school?
Well, at the moment we're having to take her from Telford to Birmingham Children's Hospital in between once and twice a month. We're having to take her down to the local doctors nearly every other week. And plus the fact just for generally shopping, we can't leave her in the house. And
well, no, that was the point I thought they were missing, because if you go out, I mean, it's any parent with a totally able-bodied child, if they go out, they take the kid with them, yeah?
Yeah.
To go to the supermarket, what do? You take your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows you take kids to supermarkets to smack them. So if you're going to smack your kid, you take it to a supermarket, do it in public. So then what it seems to me that they're saying is that you can't do that.
Yeah, basically.
Until she's 5.
Until she's 5, and then she's entitled to a car.
Did they actually... Did a car?
Yeah.
I don't know if this has permeated the DSS or SS or whatever they call themselves these days, but you can't actually get your licence till you're 17. A small point, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but...
But the car would be for you, presumably?
Well, for my fiancée, yeah.
Right, which makes even more of a mockery of the fact that you've got to wait till your child is 5, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
What did they say when you asked them?
Well, they asked us if we could have a letter from our doctors and one from our specialist to say that she actually had the condition, which it's pretty easy to look at her. She's hardly got any skin on her legs or her arms, round her belly. She's got scars all over her face from where she's pulled the skin off herself.
But presumably they want it in triplicate. I mean, you're talking about massive bureaucracy here.
Oh, yeah, we've got to have one from the GP, one from the district nurses, one from specialist at Birmingham Children's Hospital, one from a dietitian at Birmingham Children's Hospital.
Close enough for me, I knew where you were coming from. What? So they want it in triplicate?
Yeah.
Okay, well, fair enough, you can do that, can't you?
Yeah, we can do that. But the law says a child is not entitled to a car until she's 5 years old.
Sorry, these are the guidelines they're working to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's an ass, isn't it?
Well, we thought so, yeah.
So what can you do about it?
Save up and buy another car ourselves, which is going to take a long time.
Have you tried the Citizens Advice Bureau?
Yeah.
What did they say?
They said there's nothing they can do about it.
More than our job's worth?
Yeah, basically something along those lines. They said that there's nothing that they could do about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have very, very limited experience with the DSS and their workings, apart from the only thing I really know about them is that they tend to be a sort of huge bureaucracy. But if anybody can help, then give us a call, 754-123 in Wolverhampton, 236-235 in Shrewsbury, because it seems to me there must be a way around it. There's a definite need there. There is a need to be addressed, and because they're following the small print, that need is not being addressed. So we'll see what people have got to say, okay?
Okay.
All right, Mark.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
There we go, poor old Mark. He's got a daughter with a skin disorder. Sure, they can have a car. Sure, they qualify for mobility allowance, but not until the little girl is 5 years old. She's 19 months old at the moment. What's the odds? I mean, families have needs when the child is 19 months. They have needs when the child is 5 years. Why should they have to wait? If you can help or you found yourself in a similar position, what did you do? 754-123 in Wolverhampton, 236-235 in Shrewsbury. Stamp your feet, jump for joy. Here's an ad break.
Holmes, look at this. What do you make of it? Well, eventually, my dear Watson, it's an invitation to save huge amounts of cash in an exciting new furniture store just opened in Halesoe in High Street. What does it mean, Holmes? It means you can buy traditional three-piece suite in linen cloth from only £399, silent night beds from £99, antique-style beds, double and single from £69, single divans from £59, and lots more. But where are Holmes? Where are Holmes of Halesoe? Furniture with choice in High Street, Halesoe. Telephone 021 585 0881. That's 021 585 0881, or refer to local press for details. Holmes and Halesoe. What a splendid name.
So, you'd like to get your business BS 5750 registered. Brush aside that bureaucratic mountain of paperwork. Cut through that red tape. Call Consultants in Quality. And save your company money. Your first consultation is free, and as Consultants in Quality are DTI listed, grant aid of up to 50% could be arranged. For BS 5750, call Consultants in Quality during office hours on 021 550 9893.
This is a public notice from Dreamworld. Due to major showroom alterations currently taking place, Dreamworld are clearing quality three-piece suites, including leather, from just £395 and are currently offering 2 years interest-free credit and up to £500 part exchange on your old suite. Dreamworld also stock a wide range of carpets and beds. They'll even take your old bed away free of charge. Remember, Dreamworld offers 2 years interest-free credit. Ask for written details. The clearance sale is now on at Dreamworld, open 7 days a week in Stallings Lane, Kings Winford. See local press for opening times.
Well, it's so easy to buy a suite at Dreamworld.
Midland Hardwoods is regularly supplying this area, and our range of hardwoods and softwoods is extensive. Our customers are not only the building trade. We're experienced at supplying manufacturers, engineers, and other commercial organizations. For a stock list, call Midland Hardwoods free on 0800 34 55 55.
Beacon Radio.
Midnight Line on Beacon and WABC. Free for all. Talk about anything you want to talk about. 754-123 in Wolverhampton. 236-235 in Shrewsbury. Next, it's Bev. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Bev.
Yeah, all right.
What can we do you for?
Well, I'd like to talk about when he went on the Nell Gwyn.
The
When he done
Nell...
the Ghostbusters on the Nell Gwyn.
Oh, he did, yes. That was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, that was very spooky, that, because I went to the Nell Gwyn, and
Yeah.
I remember walking down the steps,
Yeah.
because the landlady, I believe, is not there anymore. She said, come down the cellars, and hello, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I walked down the cellars, and she was going to show me this priest hole. And as we got to the bottom of the steps, I pointed to this little enclave thing with the barrels
Yeah.
in. I've never been there before. I said, that's where your ghost lives, isn't it? And she said, yes, it is. How did you know?
Yeah, but
And I don't know how I knew. Oh, well, I do. I just sort of saw something, but I don't know what it was.
you said you didn't believe in any ghosts.
Well,
Or did you?
at all. Well, no, I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if you got Henry VIII in and said, do you believe in video recorders, he'd say no.
Yeah.
Well, what do you believe in?
Well, I went down there a few weeks ago, and I went upstairs. Is it upstairs in the dance room? You said there was coldness.
Yes.
Well, I went upstairs purposely to go to the toilet, you know, just to find out and all that, but there was nothing, you know.
Oh, no, this was in one of the rooms off it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what to believe. I mean, quite often I'll sit here at night and something will walk past me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's ghosts. I mean, there's all sorts of things we don't understand.
Yeah.
Like the time-space continuum and stuff like that. And anything Stephen Hawking ever wrote, I don't understand any of that. And there's loads of things that are outside our comprehension. Actually, I'm getting mixed up here. It was the one in Shrewsbury that the ghost was downstairs, that's right. No, Nell Gwyn's the one in Shifnal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, different ghost bus that. But anyway, there's loads of things I don't understand. And I think I'm just quite happy to say that whatever it is, I don't understand it.
But, like, when you said you went into that room and you said your feet were freezing...
They were,
because
yes.
I'd listened to that anyway, and you said your feet were freezing. Was it really true? What you said?
Absolutely like blocks of ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought perhaps you were putting it on.
No, I don't believe in doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's nothing happening, I'm quite happy to say, oh, well, there's nothing happening. Because, you don't need to invent things.
Yeah.
No, my feet did go cold. And quite often I'll walk into a place and I suddenly, a warm room, I'll suddenly get massive goosebumps. And it just doesn't feel right. But I've absolutely no idea what it is. None at all. Can't throw any light on the subject. One thing I'm absolutely convinced it's not is evidence of life after death.
Life after death?
I'm convinced it's not that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe in some way you leave, or it's possible to leave your personality imprinted on a building.
Well, if it is life after death, there's got to, like I said, if it is spirits, there's got to be life after death, isn't it?
Well, the other way to look at it, of course, is to say that if there isn't life after death, then what's John Tainton doing still broadcasting?
Yeah.
See, there's all sorts of different ways of looking at these things.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but the one thing that bothers me about the it's the spirit of the deceased business is that they always do the same things. You know, like this thing that walks past, it always walks past in the same way.
Yeah.
It doesn't sort of deviate its course. It always walks directly parallel to where I'm sitting to my left. And it just you never see it. You just see something move, but you never know what it is. But I mean, it never walks in front of me. It always walks the same way. Well, I mean, if I was a ghost, I'd get damn bored doing that for eternity.
Yeah, why is it always a cold feeling as well? No, you get that cold feeling.
I don't know. Have you had a cold feel?
No, I ain't never. I'm just asking you.
Oh, madam.
I just dying to ask you and all that. So.
Well, now you have done, Mary. Bev, sorry.
Yeah.
Where are you from, innit?
Masteg.
Where?
Masteg. Bridgend.
Oh, Bridgend. You've got a very, very Welsh accent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? So no, I don't bother making it up because it's too hard to make it up. You might as well just describe what's happening to you at any time. And I don't know what ghosts are. Sorry, I can't answer your question.
Oh, okay, then.
Never mind, Bev. I'll tell you what, in the next week or so, we'll have a Life, the Universe and Everything night. We might throw some light on it then, okay?
Okay, then. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Bev.
Bye-bye.
There we go, Bev, referring back to a ghost hunt we did at the Nell Gwyn in Shifnal. That's going back some time, that. Who's next? Mary, good morning.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Mary.
Just a moment, I'll turn the thing down a bit.
You turn your thing down a bit.
No, just a minute, Ian.
That's okay, don't worry, we've got till 2 o'clock.
Yeah. Are you there, love?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, wait a bit. I'm not right.
No, you're not right. You're not right, are you?
Well, I'm not very clever. I wasn't going to talk about racism, but I will give you a quick example. Several years ago, I lived in a multi-storey block of flats. Just myself and my 2 sons. Now, just beneath us, there were 2 Caribbean boys, and they used to play the music till 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. They really drove us mad. And then I went on holiday to Blackpool, and I saw Lenny Henry, and I just couldn't enjoy his show. He was marvellous, but I couldn't enjoy his show because I kept thinking about the two boys on these driving me mad. But having said that, I'll get quickly round it. That's been about 12, 13 years ago. Now, last year, next door to me moved a Jamaican boy married to a white girl, and they've got 3 children, and they are absolutely wonderful neighbours. They really are. So, you see, we can't sort of judge everyone the same.
Absolutely not.
At the time, Ian, I did feel rather prejudiced. And now I think, well, I can't very well judge my next door neighbour because he's such a nice boy, you know, and they've got 3 kiddies and you never know they're there. So I'll put that aside now, Ian.
Okay, that's a nice story with a happy ending.
Yeah, well, that's it, you see. Now, I'll come to another story. Now, my stepfather is 80. Now, the government are talking about taking the bus passes off the elderly, and also they're going to put money on the eating, on the, you know, extra tax on the eating.
8%.
Yeah. Now, what I'd like to point out to you, Ian, is this. Now, my stepfather, he likes to get on the bus with his pass, go into the supermarkets, and look round for the bargains, and it keeps him warm, and then he goes into the library, and he browses round there. Now...
An amazing feeling of deja vu.
Sorry, love.
I think we had did you tell me about this earlier in the week?
No, I didn't, Ian. I've never been able to get through.
So there's 2...
I have to turn this up a little bit.
2 old people doing this, going round supermarkets.
Well, you see, Ian, in the winter months, supposing they are going to take the passes, and supposing they are going to put the eating allowance higher, or whatever they call it, and they're going to charge more for the eating. Now, just take my stepfather, for instance. He likes to go to these places, so he doesn't have to use the heating. Now, if they're going to take the bus pass away, they're going to have to stay indoors. And if they've got to stay indoors, they've got to use the heating. Now, can you imagine how many people, elderly especially, are going to say, well, I can't afford to have the fire on, and they're going to get hypothermia.
Yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think it's the cruelest and most antisocial legislation that this government's ever passed.
It's disgusting, Ian, it really is. And, yeah, I mean, I know he's my stepfather, but, I mean, he's a nice old boy, and he doesn't do anyone any harm. He paid all his national health contributions. He worked till he was 68. Now he needs dentures. He's got to pay for them. He needs glasses. He's got to pay for them. He's partially deaf. He can't get a deaf aid. Got to pay for it. And it's all very wrong. It's just a vicious circle. And I've never really sort of voted for one party or the other party or the other party. I've never sort of really bothered about it. But I think what's going on now, it's striking at the most vulnerable people. Most vulnerable, which are the elderly people. I mean, people have gone through 2 world wars, and they can't even afford to have the fire on or to go on the bus because they haven't got the money. What can they do on £54 a week?
Well, I'll tell you what, cross out the legislation bit, and we'll go back to what I said before, the cruelest and most antisocial government the world has ever seen. Not only putting 8% on heating, so you stay at home, you pay more money, also taking your bus pass off you, so you can't go out anyway. Thanks for that, Mary. I got to move on, because next on, I think it's... which side is Johnny Morrison? Hello. Aha, this one here. More semantic backflips with Jamo the Parrot and his human spokesperson, Johnny Morris. Good morning.
How do?
How do, John?
All right.
Yes?
Hey, look, Jamo's on my shoulder having a bit of red pepper.
This is your parrot?
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
That wasn't you going, was it?
No, he's lovely. No, he purrs. He knows when I say the right thing and the wrong thing.
Aha. Now, we should explain to anybody who's listening to the show for the first time that you don't actually say what you think, do you?
No.
No, you say what your parrot thinks.
That's right. He really gets me going just before I come on, and he says, look, tell him that.
And what has Jamo commanded you to tell us about tonight?
Well, exactly what we were talking about in the pub tonight, actually.
Ah, that's fine.
Well, that was...
good place to do your research,
I was
Pubs.
quite Yes, that's where I do my research.
It's where I do mine.
Yeah, I don't have Jamo with me then because he puts me off in the pub.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to, go up and stroke him and he bites me if they do, so I can't have that, can I?
You can't. Do they let you take your parrot in the pub?
No, I don't take him in there because he's nasty.
He's a vicious parrot.
He is, he is, he's awful, he only likes me.
When he gets sick, does he get very sick?
Oh, yeah. No, I've never seen him sick, but he does like a nice finger.
Moving swiftly on.
He likes a nice, juicy finger, especially if it's been working all day.
Oh, I see what you mean, to bite.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my mind was in the gutter.
Oh, no, it's not mine. No, I don't know.
I was going to say, you can get done for that.
And
Unless you're doing it in Wales, in which case it's probably legal, or Stoke.
He's there now, purring away. Yeah. Now, look, we had the same... I don't know... and I quite agree with the lady who's just been on, actually, which is unusual for me. Do you remember that Panorama program about pensions?
Which one?
When it went right, the camera went right up close to a chap's face, and the interviewer walked right up to him, and he was a millionaire, and they asked him, did you hear him then?
Yeah.
He was 65, and he said, are you going to draw your pension?
And
did you watch that program?
I think I might have done, yes.
I know you did.
Drunk a lot of wine since then.
Yeah, but I know you did. That is what we're talking about.
What did he say?
Fundamentally what the lady was just trying to say.
You can't leave us in suspense.
No,
what did he say?
It is the system that's wrong, not the people.
Did he say he was going to draw his pension?
Well, he didn't say anything. He just smiled, and almost in disbelief, really.
Well, I mean, that's probably how he got to be a millionaire, isn't it?
Yes, but, I mean, let's face it. I mean that's not the bloke's fault, or not they did interview somebody from the British Legion. That's not their fault either. It's the fault of the system. Jamo tells me from his wrought iron cage that the system is wrong, not the people. A person's got the right to be a millionaire, and they've got the right to be poor. And
more and more people in this country are exercising that right to be poor.
That's right. I want to channel,
including myself.
And I want to channel all the funds I can towards the poor, and Jamo does.
Well,
so we've got to change the system. We can't just change the people, can we?
Well, it makes sense that the money is directed to the neediest cases.
It's not at the moment, because everybody's getting a pension.
So how do you sort of say to somebody, thanks for paying in, but you're not getting a pension?
Oh, you don't get them to pay in to start with, obviously, which means a change in the system. I mean, I'm not going to be good enough to be able to explain a system that gathers in something like 30 or 40 billion pounds a year to pay out. I'm not going to be that good, Ian.
But you see, they won't do that, because the money that they take off you, as we discovered last night, the money that they take off you, which they tell you is going towards your pension, is actually probably going to buy a nice brand new intercontinental ballistic missile.
Yeah, well, that's diverging a little bit.
No, it isn't. That's why they'll never do it, because it's a source of revenue.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't have a system in place without enforcement to back it up. I mean, you need some kind of a system that backs up the system that we've already got. But I'm worried about the system, which means that has been in place since Narim Bevan introduced it. That means that everybody that is poor should get their fair return from the state in monetary terms. And unfortunately, the poor aren't getting it. The rich are getting it as well.
And that's got to be stopped by...
No, it hasn't got to be stopped. We don't want to stop anything.
No, you just said that you wanted to change it so that the poorer members of our society got the pensions and the richer ones didn't.
Well, let's say something like that. I mean, you're getting towards my way of thinking now. Let's say that if a person doesn't want to draw his pension, take New Zealand, for instance. They've already introduced the fact that that people with, say, an income tax bracket of, say, so much, wouldn't get so much pension because they already have that amount of capital.
But as it stands at the moment, there's no such arrangement in this country, and as far as I'm concerned, if you've paid into it, you're entitled to take it out, regardless of your
there again,
circumstances.
You're a typical stick your head in the mud socialist.
Who is?
You are.
Start bandying words like socialist at me, pal.
No, but I'm sorry I've got to be so blunt, but Jamo did say that.
Oh, did he?
In this instance,
oh, well, that's
he
okay,
said
then.
you can't tell Ian he can't stick his head in the mud and say it's wrong because...
Roast parrot for tea on Sunday.
Right, but you believe in what I'm saying. We cannot pay people that don't want it.
But then
we've got to pay it to the people that want it.
But then if you give people the option to to sort themselves out in terms of pensions, then you're going to have less money coming in to pay people out, and it generally tends to be that the less wealthy members...
You're getting yourself into a bit of a mess.
No, the less wealthy members of society aren't actually in employment to pay in the first place. So where's the money going to come from?
Well, you're just saying what I'm saying is the system is wrong. You're arguing against the system, and I'm arguing against not the individual, not the nice person that came on just recently and said she should have more money, or the person before that said they wanted more money for their daughter because they had a certain disease. Those are the people that are not wrong. They're perfectly right. It's the system that are paying people that don't need the money.
Yes, but the system has to be funded.
But it's the wrong system at the moment. We've got to change the complete system. We've got to change the ideal that to pay everybody the same amount of money isn't right.
But 50%, say your cut-off line was 50%, yeah?
Well, no, I'm not going to get cornered on that.
No, what, cornered on technicalities? No, we don't want that, do we? Suppose 50%...
You can corner me.
OK, the wealthiest 50%, we say to them, right, you don't have to pay in anymore because you're not going to pay out. We're not going to pay you out, yeah?
Yep.
Well, isn't it the case that the wealthiest 50% probably contributes something like 90% of the total pension fund?
And why shouldn't they?
Well, once they're not paying in, that's 90% of your fund gone, leaving you 10% to pay the other 50%.
From? If you don't get it from the people that have got it, you're not going to get it anywhere else.
But you can only do it by direct taxation, can't you?
Yeah, but what annoys me is the ignorance of the people that want to get the money and think they can get it from people that haven't got it. The only way you can get money is from people who've got it.
Now, on that, I agree with you, John.
Yes, but and then that's an even-handed way of thinking, and I said I congratulated Jamo on that, and I said Ian would accept that. So we are both in agreement that the system needs changing.
Okie dokie, listen, that's words of wisdom from Jamo the Parrot.
Yeah.
So give him a red pepper.
And I don't want him to become Prime Minister.
Oh, I don't know, can't do any worse, can he? We'll have...
But he's got a big beak.
Give him a red pepper from us, OK?
All right, then.
Cheers, John.
Bye.
Ta-ra. I think I understood most of that. Semantic backflips from Jamo the Parrot via his human mouthpiece, Johnny Morris, on Beacon and WABC. We'll be back to the lines on this free-for-all, 754-123 in Wolverhampton, 236-235 in Shrewsbury, after this.
Feel the rhythm every Sunday night on Beacon with Tag Talking Loud, presented by Giles Peterson. We'll be exploring the very best in the ever-growing field of jazz, rap, soul and funk. Every show features an album of the week, jazz connection and a world exclusive. For deep, powerful, always melodic music, be here every Sunday night at 7 for Talking Loud, brought to you by Tag Export Beer.
Ain't no Casanova.
Buy any car at Guess Now and you can choose from a whole range of free gifts.
They said you can have an 18-speed mountain bike. I said, what about me bus pass?
A Kenwood microwave. Now listen, I like a bit of hot stuff. Or a Super Nintendo Star Wing pack. My joystick's poised, punters.
What about the remote control colour TV? Nice to watch it nice.
The offer is available to private motorists on all cars bought by the 11th of December.
So there you have it. Guests of West Bromwich famous for their service.
Yeah, knockout, you know.
We were delighted when David was born. We were excited when he began walking. We were fascinated when he began talking. We were proud when he began at Hydesville Tower School. When you want the best for your children, you'll send them to Hydesville. They take pupils from the age of 3. Come to the open morning this Saturday, October the 16th, between 10 and 12, and find out more. Hydesville Tower School, 25 Broadway North, Walsall.
Now it's time for Now. Now is the new magazine for people who know life is for living. Now features interviews, reviews, news and pages of prize-winning competitions. It's provocative, it's controversial. Now includes your free What's On magazine for this area, with full listings for music, movies, theatre and the arts. So if you want to get informed, get ahead, get some fun, get now. Available from all good newsagents. And it's out now.
Beacon Radio.
Midnight Line on Beacon and WABC. And next on the line, I've got Eric in a moment. First of all, though, first time caller, he's here. It's John. Good morning.
Hi.
You've done it now. That's it, your debut. How's it feel?
Debut?
Your debut.
Oh, I'm debut. I thought it was debut or something.
Well, no, debut.
Oh, right. Look, I'm a first-time caller.
Correct.
And, the first time I listened to your programme was on Monday night. And I've got to admit, I've become addicted to it.
Well, it's only taken you 5 days.
Well,
to
I've
phone
never
through.
even heard your programme before, because I'm usually watching satellite television, or I'm usually out at the pub, or doing something else.
The Powerball?
Yeah.
What's that?
No, I'm at the pub, or...
Oh, the pub?
The pub.
Oh, yeah, right, that's all right, yeah. That's where I do most of my research, that.
Well, not usually back till later. And I heard your programme on Monday, and I've spent all this week listening to you, and listening to the characters like Eric and the man with the parrot and Len and all these. So I think you do a fantastic show. That's the first thing, because nobody ever seems to compliment you.
You're very kind. If you wouldn't mind putting it in writing to the boss.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe you get a pay rise. Anyway,
I doubt it.
in fact, I'm just on before Eric, isn't it? Because I was listening to him last night.
That's right, and who's
Yeah,
next?
He's quite a character. What I'm going to do is talk about football and talk about England just for a moment. Now, I'm a professional gambler. I totally derive all my income from gambling, so I've obviously got to be good at what I do. Now, last year, there was a football competition in Sweden called the European Championships.
Yes.
Okay? You remember that well?
Unfortunately.
That's right, and we didn't do particularly well. I'm not going to talk about England. After each team had played 2 games, there was a little team called Denmark who went in with a loss. I think it was a loss and a draw, and they were 400 to 1 with the bookies, which is the same price for England to win the World Cup. Okay?
The same price now?
That's the price for England to win the World Cup, 400 to 1. It's 16 to 1 to actually get there, but it's actually 400 to 1 to win. And I put £100 on Denmark last year. This is one of many, many bets I do to win, and obviously they won, so that's quite a lot of money, £40,000 actually. So when people phone up and say England have got no chance doing this and that, you never know until the fat lady sings, as they say, because there's always a chance if you go for it. And I would say to anybody, if you have got any sort of inkling at all, get on England to win the World Cup of 400 to 1, even though that may sound crazy.
It's kind of worth a tenner, isn't it?
It's worth at least 20, 30 quid.
Because I think the 16 to 1 to qualify, which I reckon was got to be worth 15, 20 quid.
Well, 16 to 1 isn't quite so good, actually, but the 400 to 1 is a lot better. And when you get people phoning in, slagging off England, saying they're rubbish and we can't compete, all you've got to look at it is like this. England have to beat San Marino by quite a few goals, and all you're looking at really is for Holland to lose against Poland, which is quite feasible.
Exactly.
Because it was 2-2.
And then you're looking at a San Marino side who've conceded 38 goals.
Yeah, that's not really the problem. I'm sure England will hammer San Marino, but it's the fact that Poland have to beat Holland. They have to actually beat them, and
well, they're no easy touch, Poland.
That's a reasonable chance, you see.
Now, as a professional gambler, right, my mate Macca never gambled before in his life.
Yeah. Well, we all had to start somewhere, myself included.
Well, he had £1,000 that he took back to. He lives in Germany. A year ago, he went back to Germany. Had £1,000 in English money. He didn't change it back because the rate of exchange fell.
Right.
So it was only worth 800. So he just kept it.
Right.
He came back this year and decided he was going to gamble it. So what he did was he placed 3 bets, right? He had slightly more than 1,000 to do it with. He's already won his stake back, which he did by betting, strangely enough, on Liverpool to do various things.
Right.
Like win 5-0 at Swindon and to beat Leeds by 2 goals to 1. He got both of those. Never gambled before in his life.
Yeah.
Now, the £1,000 he has put, and all I want is your opinion, so next time he phones me up I can tell him, What do you think of this bet? He put £1,000 on Liverpool to win the English Championship and Borussia Dortmund to win the German Bundesliga.
What do I think of it? Well, look, before I say what I think about it, I mean, because we can always say that Liverpool aren't doing very well, right? Because when he put that bet on, was it the start of the season?
Pre-season.
Yeah, I mean, if I sat here and said it's a good bet, we know Liverpool aren't doing as well as they were a couple of weeks ago. All I'd say to him is that bet that he put on, as long as he got the best price for it and he thought it was a good deal.
Well, it's 30 to 1.
Yeah, well, it depends what the best price is, because the prices of things vary so much between bookmakers. It's unbelievable. I mean, I don't know whether 31 was... That was a double, was it?
Yeah, that was the best one he could get.
Yeah, well, if that's the best deal he got, then that's it, really. I mean, I can't really comment on it.
What's the safest bet?
The safest bet is not to bet.
Keep your money in your pocket.
Well, not really. I mean, the safest... But you may find this hard to believe, but there's actually bets that you can't lose on. I mean... most people wouldn't believe you if you said that. I'll give you an example today. Do you know anything about golf?
Bits.
Right.
You use a
stick. You know there's the Dunhill golf on at the moment?
Yes.
Right. Ireland played Spain. It wasn't a repeat of the World Cup. Ireland played Spain in a game today on the Dunhill golf. I don't know if you know this.
I heard didn't Scotland get turned over or something?
No, Scotland beat Wales. Scotland got turned over yesterday by Paraguay.
Right, so I'm out of date already.
Well, Ireland played Spain on a game of golf today. Okay. Now, if you'd gone to Corals, who are one of the leading bookmakers, and if you'd gone to another bookmaker, which is called Arthur Prince, who are a smaller bookmaker, you could have actually bet on Spain to win and Ireland to win, and you could have not lost. You would have made a profit no matter what happened.
So it's just a question of planning.
It's a question of looking at good deals and getting the best price, yeah. I mean, when you say your friend bet Swindon to lose to Liverpool 5-0, I mean, that's an example of a very bad value bet. Although he did get it, and he probably made a lot of money on it, trying to get correct scores is very, very bad, because usually they're very highly marked up, you see.
So what you've got to do is look around for the right... Like shopping for anything.
Well,